Good afternoon. It is time for Living in the Light, and I'm just, my computer's telling me I have to close my unused application, so I was hunting before I came online. I was looking for a document that seems to have evaded me. Anyway, welcome to Living in the Light, and today we're going to talk about time. My sister and I were talking today about how the fact that the campground, as of Sunday, that's this coming Sunday, that's 3 days, the campground will be closed for the season for 2 weeks already. Now, I'm a writer and I write. So, in these past 2 weeks, do you know how much writing I've done? 0. I couldn't believe it. It's like, where did your time go? Do you ever ask yourself that? Where did your time go? And what I was looking for, the reason that I was a little bit late, is I was looking for a document that said if you live to be 70 years old, I'm 76, and your life, how would you have spent it? So I wanted to share a little. I will share that in a minute. Right now, Tishy came to say hi. Yeah, she loves to be with us when we do the video. She was over having her snack. I kind of tried to buy me some time by making sure she had her little snack over there before we got started. Okay, so today is Veterans Day, as you know, and we are thinking about those who have served in the military and given so much of their life to the country so that we can have a better life. Please remember them today. It is also Ice Cream Sundae Day. Did you get an ice cream sundae? I didn't. I didn't have time. I was like really busy all day. My time is my life. And how did I spend it? That's what we have to ask ourselves every day. Did you ever get to the end of the day? And if you had to say what you did all day, if you had to account for every hour, what you would say? All right. Back to National Day calendar. Today is, so I didn't get out to get a sundae. Okay. I'm so easily distracted sometimes. But I do have in the freezer a frozen cream puff with chocolate sauce that I'm going to have tonight after dinner. So it's got cream in it, like ice cream. It's frozen. And chocolate sauce. What's a sundae without some hot chocolate or chocolate sauce on it? So I guess I will be sticking with that one. Now, as for today, it is National Pizza with the Works Except Anchovies Day. Really, that's what it's called. Pizza with the Works Except Anchovies Day. I guess a lot of people are not fans of those little fishy tasting fish, and for those who like it, you go for it, but for the rest of us, no thank you. And we did have a pizza with the works yesterday when we had our friends over for lunch, but it wasn't like pizza. It was a wonderful thing that you make with bobbly, and you put on it a combination of cream cheese mixed with ranch dressing, which gives it such good flavor. You just mix it until taste, and you slap it on the bobbly, and then you top it with all kinds of veggies. We topped it with spinach and the scallions, and it had some broccoli on it. It had peppers, green peppers, a little bit of onion, I think, some shaved Parmesan, which is so elegant looking and beautiful. It almost looked too good to eat. So we did cover that yesterday, just saying. So it's also National French Dip Day. Now, if you're not familiar with what a French dip is, it's like on a roll or on French bread. It's shaved meat. Usually, it's beef or pork, and then it's kind of, first of all, it's soaked in drippings pan drippings before they put it in, and then when you get the French dip sandwich, it comes with a little cup of, they call it au jus, which means the drippings, pan drippings. Sounds so much more elegant when you say au jus. So, and you dip the roll in the sandwich in the drippings and you eat it. So it's very juicy and delicious for those of you who eat that. Now, the next thing that is a way to not eat as a food, but to ingest something good and healthy and happy, and it is a National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. You know, I have had so many Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and what they are, if you're not familiar, is good and kind and inspirational stories. So, if you want to observe National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day today, oh no, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. I still can't catch up with that. Did you know, they say, if you make a change, like if you move your wastebasket from one side of your desk to the other, it takes 27 days for you to automatically throw it in the trash and not on the floor where the trash used to be. I'm finding that with my closet. I keep opening the closet and expecting to not be able to get in the door because that's the way it used to be. Doorway. It doesn't have a door. It has a curtain. So I open it. It's like every time I open it, it's oh, and I walk right in. So that's in 27 days, I will open it and expect to see the closet the way it's adjusted, and it better still look just as neat and clean and tidy. That's what I say. Okay, woo! So we got a lot of days that we're talking about, and today we are talking about time. It's a matter of time. And I said, have you got a minute? And you might have even thought a minute, wait a minute, she never talks for a minute. Well, I want you to know that I treasure the fact that you choose to spend some time with me. It gives me a feeling that I serve a good purpose and maybe I inspire someone and make their day better. So that I am, what I'm doing today and as I prepare for it every day, that I am putting my time to good use. Have you found lately, I don't know how old you are, but I've even heard very young people say this, the time is flying by. It's amazing. And I have said that when I would check people in during the summer, for their camping, and I'd write on their little ticket, you hang the thing on their, you give them a thing to hang on their rear view mirror of their car so we can identify them, number one, as belonging here, number two, marking the day that they will be gone by. And if they're in after that day, we got to take a look at that. But anyway, yeah, but everyone's going, it's so fast. And it is hard to keep up. It seems like we were writing the tickets out for April 15th, and then we were writing them out for October 15th. And you go, where did that time go? Well, I'll tell you one thing. It was time enjoyably spent, and I hope that in that time that I spent, I did touch hearts and change lives through inspiration. A friend of mine sent me a very funny little meme, and it said, life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. So we want to think about, what did you do with your time? If you had like a pie chart, and it had, slidable portions, so you would put down how much time you spent doing number of things like eating, cooking, sleeping, traveling, visiting. And in fact, this I did find. So I'm going to, I closed it when I was closing my things. I will try to post the little list about how many hours, if you live to be 70, it's called How You Spent It. And that's a document that I was looking for. So what would you think about how you spent your life if you put it down to hours? How many hours have you slept? How many hours have you cooked? How many hours have you eaten? How many hours have you watched television? How many hours have you been on the computer? And you want to make sure that you're using time in a way that is worth it. There is one of my favorite sayings, and I hope I can put it correctly in words. Is it's like a prayer that I frequently say, and it is, "This is the beginning of a new day. The Lord has given you this day to do as you will. You can choose. You can waste it or use it for good. But whatever you do today is important, because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something you have exchanged for it. As for me, I want it to be joy, not sorrow, love, not hate, success, not failure, in order that I will not regret how I spent it." That's the worst price to pay for anything, is regret. And that's one thing I'm glad I do have kind of grounded into my heart and soul. I'm not going to say I don't forget, I don't have backslide into spending too much time doing one or another thing, but time is so delicate, and it's so easy to ignore. Usually if we get our minds tied up in things of this world. If you have things you want to do, be, have, places you want to go, if you were to write those down, have you done them? Are you putting any effort toward them? Some people say time is money, and they say, well, I can't do anything because I don't have the money. But we can do what we really want to do, basically, if we're prudent, work hard, and do the best we know how. And there's a lot of things to even travel. You can travel as a volunteer, and there's many ways that, you can do things at the campground. We sometimes use work campers. Work campers are people who love to camp. They're camping, and they make arrangements to come and stay at the campground for an extended period of time. And while they're here, they work on the grounds. They help my brother-in-law out, even if it's like maintenance issues, cutting wood, all kinds of things like that. So they're getting to travel and to, pay for it with their work. And I think that's really exciting. So if you're not doing the things you want to do, maybe it's time to really take a look at how you spend your time. I know I have to, that I don't always spend it in, the most productive way. Now, I do have some very good habits, some healthy habits about my time. And the first thing is my prayer time. Now, I don't put a clock out about how much time I'm going to spend in prayer. I don't do any holy things so that I feel like, I'm holier than thou or anything like that. But my prayer time's important because I ponder my life. I'll ponder a scripture. I'll ponder the world situation. I ask for divine guidance. I give thanks for all the people in my life. I do my gratitude list. Gratitude list is so important. Write down what you're grateful for, and the important part is why. So when I start my day that way, it just kind of gets me grounded and ready, and it helps me to make better decisions. Now, another thing, remember how we've talked about not leaving dishes in the sink, so when you get up in the morning, your energy is not, sucked out of you when you see those dishes in the sink? A great way is to, before you go to bed at night, make yourself a to-do list in the morning. Remember, everything is about energy. It's about energy in motion. We are actually beings of light, beings of energy. We are in a manifest form, in a material form, but we are actually, it is energy that animates us. If you get up in the morning and you've got a little to-do list, you kind of know where you're headed. If you picked out your clothes for that day, oh, you got a great head start. Because when you start when you wake up in the morning, you're like, so what am I going to do today? If you're not prepared, you can wind up wasting a lot of time just even thinking about what you want to do. If you wake up in the morning and you got a to-do list, you have got a head start. If you got your clothes laid out, you're not going to waste time pondering what you're going to wear. If you make a habit of this in your life, you're going to find that everything runs smoothly and that energy is flowing, and that's the way you want to live. Remember, ease versus dis-ease, which we were talking about the past few days. When you have a plan and you use it, and if you make a list, a great way to get energy boosts is when you cross an item off of it. I did it. Or you may want to make a list and cross it off and say, I don't want to do that, I put together a little list of things that, I put together a little list for you. If you want to grab paper and pencil, or you can play this back later and look at it again. But these are some of the things that I believe will help you. I did find it through research, various articles and things, plus my own personal experience. And I got 76 years of experience that I've been using time for better or worse. So first of all, you want to declutter your schedule. If it's not yours to do, stop doing it. And I think one of those things is a lot of parents have kids that are way too old to be being kids. Yeah, any child, by the time they're 3 or 4, they can be learning to pick up their toys. They can be, we've got a little song we sing with Tristan, clean up, clean up. So every time we play and take out our stuff, we put it away. That's a good idea for all of us, right? So you want to make sure that you get anything that's not on your schedule off of it. If you are, if your children, if you have young children, and they're like 11, 12, 13 years old, and you're washing their clothes, back up and think again. Children can be taught very easily to do the laundry, to cook, My boys always said to me that they were very happy that I made them cook and clean when they were young, because when they grew up, I gotta tell you, this is honest, they kept cleaner houses than I ever did in those days. It's very nice. I could always go relax at their houses because they're nice and neat and clean. And now I strive to always have my house as neat and clean as they do. So get stuff, you're decluttering your life, declutter your schedule. If it's not yours to do, don't do it. Take a look at every item. Can somebody else do that? Learn to delegate. And when we delegate with our children, we teach them good habits. We teach them how to be independent. It's the way to go. So on your list, put first things first. What's the most important thing that I need to get done today? I make a little list and then I start prioritizing it. That's an A, that's a B, that's a C. And then I do them in that order. A lot of times we make big mistakes with that, because what we do is we'll make a list and we'll take the least appealing job and put it at the bottom of the list, or we kind of sort of tend to ignore it altogether, right? So what we want to do is take the biggest thing and get it done right away. And then the rest of the day's cake, Seriously. One of my inspirational teachers always said, if you got to eat a frog, you better be able to swallow it in one bite. Take on that big task, get it done. Learn to say no. That's back to decluttering your schedule. No, if it's not yours to do, no. And you know what? You don't even have to have an explanation to them. No, I can't. I don't want to. Nope, can't do it. So learn to say no. Block your time. We were talking about, the decluttering, and what my sister's doing is spending 1 hour a day working in the basement. 1 hour. Anybody can do an hour, okay? So think about that. If you've got those big chores that are going to take many hours of work, just do it 1 hour at a time. Get that hour. That's your frog. My frog is 1 hour. So just swallow that 1 hour frog, and then you're ready to go on with your day. So block the time off. And when you're blocking off time, you want to make sure to block off time for you. You need time to ponder, time to stare into space and do nothing, to sip coffee, to, what is it they used to say, to meditate on your navel. Whatever, you gotta, because that's when the creative juices fill. We can't constantly be putting stuff into our head from the computer, from the television, even from books. Sometimes we just have to, it's like you can't eat and eat and eat. You have to eat and eat and then digest. So as you go along and you're making your schedule, don't overdo it. Learn to block the time out. And when it's you time, me time, whatever time, do not feel guilty. This is my me time, because me time is important. That'd be like feeling guilty for sleeping. A lot of people brag that they sleep 2-3 hours a night. Well, some people may be able to do that, but others won't. If you consider the possibility you're shortening your life by sleeping so little, because you're really wearing out your organs, your functioning of your body. On the other hand, if you find you're spending too much time sleeping, get rid of that. Set an alarm. Learn to live in a time block. This is my sleeping block. I know someone personally that has to learn to go to bed at a decent hour. I always think, I just got one more little thing to do, just one more. And that's one of my disciplines that I'm working on developing, is just saying, no, I'm not going to do one more thing. I'm going to just go to bed. The world's going to keep turning while I'm sleeping. Quite sure of that by now. Learn to do one task at a time. In other words, don't do. Did you ever find, like there was a funny thing about I went to the kitchen to put a cup in the dishwasher, and then I realized that there was a towel that needed to be put in the wash, so I went and picked up the towel and put it in the wash, and of course we didn't take care of the cup that we were supposed to put in the sink, and so at the end of the day you got nothing. You were busy all day, but you didn't get anything done. Develop good habits. Do something while you're wait. You know all those times we have to be on wait on the flippin' phone for customer service? Oh yeah. Find something to do. Write a to-do list. Read read a book, work on a book that you're a novel or whatever that you're working on. Write if you're a writer. I know you can't do much in a little piece, but one book I read one time said if you're like going to strip some wallpaper off the wall and you have to wait for someone, start picking at it. Once you start picking at it, next thing you know, you're going to get inspired and get it all off. Let's see. Adjust your expectations. Very often our expectations for ourselves are way higher than they should be. Have guilt-free downtime. Here's a good one. Pay for reasonably priced help for things you can't or don't want to do. Now that includes like spring cleaning, fall cleaning. Sometimes you can pay someone, depends on the size of your house, you can pay them, anywhere from, $15 an hour or pay by the job or whatever, and pay them and let them either help you or do it for you. Because is cleaning your house always the best use of your time? And that means, I'm not saying your house doesn't need to be neat and tidy, because it does. But is cleaning your house the best use of your time? Do you have other things you need to be doing? Like people who work, Oh, this is a really, really important one. Write this down. Write this down. Have a post-it parking lot. In my professional life, we'd go to meetings and conferences and stuff, and when we would have even a board meeting and someone wanted to talk about something that was not on the agenda, so we wanted to get through the agenda and then handle it. So what you do is you write it down on a post-it note and you stick it, let's say on the refrigerator, on a whiteboard, somewhere in your house where you're going to go back to it. And then, let's say that you're putting the cup in the sink. This is a very ridiculous version of it, but you're going to put the thing in the sink, and then you see you've got a towel that's dirty, needs to go in the wash, and you just write down on a post-it, do collect wash, and that way you'll go all around the house and collect any wash and get it done. So the parking lot prevents you from being distracted, going from here to there, and not getting anything done. Now, I'm almost at the end of our time for today. That went really fast. But I found this. This is one thing I did find, and I probably used it before, so if you've listened to my videos before, you may have heard this. But it's always worth repeating, especially if you find you haven't been doing these things. It's called Take Time Out for 10 Things. Take time out for work. It's the price of success. Take time out to think. It is the source of power. Take time out to play. It is the secret of youth. Take time out to read. It is the foundation of knowledge. Take time to worship. It is the highway to reverence. And it really helps you get aligned. So I would have said pray, not worship, but worship is good. Take time to help and enjoy your friends. It's the source of happiness. Take time to love. It is the one sacrament of life. Take time to dream. It hitches the soul to the stars. Take time to laugh. It is the singing that helps life's load. Take time to pray. It helps bring Christ near, Spirit near, however you want to put it, and washes the dust of the earth from our eyes. I love that. It washes the dust of earth from our eyes. We get distracted by the things of this world, the mundane, everyday tasks and chores, but we want to remember we serve only one master, and we serve that master by doing what is ours to do to create, co-create a great world. So thank you for spending your time with me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.